Welcome to a special series of the 5-Minute Biographies podcast from 5minutebiographies.com, where we tell you interesting things about interesting people in about 5 minutes. While we get ready for season 21 of the regular series, we are bringing you the second special series on United States presidents, with a brand new episode every weekday across 10 episodes, covering presidents 11 through 20. If you enjoy the show and would like to support us, why not consider buying us a coffee? Just head to 5minutebiographies.com/coffee to find out more. This is episode 6, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, was born on the 12th of February 1809 in a one-room log cabin on the Sinking Spring Farm in Hardin County, Kentucky, which is now part of LaRue County. He was the second child of Thomas and Nancy Hanks Lincoln, a hardworking but poor pioneer family. His father was a farmer and carpenter, while his mother took care of the household. Lincoln's early years were shaped by hardship and labor, as his family moved several times in search of better opportunities. In 1816, when Lincoln was 7, his family relocated to Indiana, where his father acquired land in what was then a frontier settlement. Lincoln's childhood was marked by tragedy when his mother, Nancy, died of milk sickness in 1818, and her death deeply affected him. His father later married Sarah Bush Johnston, a widow with children of her own. She became a strong maternal figure in Lincoln's life and encouraged his love of learning, despite his limited access to formal education. In total, Lincoln received less than a year of formal schooling, but he was an eager self-learner who read every book he could find. He developed a deep love for literature, history, and law, often borrowing books from neighbors and reading by firelight after completing his farm chores. As a young man, Lincoln worked a variety of jobs to support himself and his family. He split logs for fences, worked as a store clerk, and even tried his hand at piloting a flatboat down the Mississippi River to New Orleans, where he first witnessed the horrors of slavery. This experience left a lasting impression on him and influenced his views on the institution. In 1830, his family moved again, this time to Illinois, where Lincoln eventually settled in New Salem. There, he took up various occupations, including postmaster and surveyor, while developing a keen interest in law and politics. Lincoln's political career began in 1832 when he ran for the Illinois state legislature, though he was unsuccessful in his first attempt. However, he remained determined and was elected as a state legislator in 1834 as a member of the Whig Party. He served 4 terms in the Illinois General Assembly, where he became known for his opposition to the expansion of slavery and his advocacy for economic development. During this time, he also began studying law in earnest, teaching himself from borrowed law books. By 1837, he had become a licensed attorney and moved to Springfield, Illinois, where he established a successful legal practice. Lincoln quickly gained a reputation as a skilled lawyer with a talent for persuasion and logical reasoning. His ability to articulate his arguments and his commitment to justice made him one of the most respected attorneys in Illinois. In 1842, he married Mary Todd, a well-educated woman from a prominent Kentucky family. Their marriage was often strained due to financial difficulties and personal tragedies, including the loss of 2 of their 4 sons during childhood. However, Mary was a strong supporter of Lincoln's ambitions and played a significant role in his political career. Lincoln's national political career began when he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1846. During his single term in Congress, he was an outspoken critic of the Mexican-American War, which he viewed as an unjust conflict driven by the expansion of slavery. His unpopular stance cost him political support, and he chose not to seek re-election. After leaving Congress, he returned to his legal practice but remained active in politics, increasingly aligning himself with the anti-slavery movement. By the 1850s, the issue of slavery had become the dominant political debate in the United States. The passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1854, which allowed new territories to decide for themselves whether to permit slavery, led Lincoln to re-enter the political arena. He joined the newly formed Republican Party, which opposed the expansion of slavery into new territories. In 1858, he gained national recognition when he engaged in a series of debates with Senator Stephen A. Douglas during their campaign for the Illinois Senate seat. Although Lincoln lost the election, the debates showcased his eloquence and firm stance against slavery, earning him national prominence. Lincoln's growing reputation led to his nomination as the Republican candidate for president in 1860. He ran on a platform that opposed the expansion of slavery, but reassured Southern states that he would not interfere with slavery where it already existed. Despite this, his election victory in November 1860 prompted several Southern states to secede from the Union, fearing that his presidency would threaten their way of life. By the time Lincoln took office on the 4th of March, 1861, the nation was on the brink of civil war. The American Civil War erupted in April 1861 when Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Lincoln faced the enormous challenge of preserving the Union while navigating a deeply divided nation. He proved to be a decisive and determined leader, taking bold actions such as suspending habeas corpus to suppress dissent and issuing the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, which declared all slaves in Confederate-held territory to be free. This transformed the war from a fight to preserve the Union into a struggle for human freedom. Lincoln's leadership during the war was marked by his ability to communicate with the public and his unwavering commitment to democracy. His speeches, including the Gettysburg Address in 1863, reinforced the principles of equality and unity. Despite heavy losses on the battlefield, Lincoln remained steadfast in his belief that the Union must be preserved. In 1864, he was re-elected as president, defeating Democrat George B. McClellan. By early 1865, Union forces had gained the upper hand, and the Civil War was nearing its conclusion. On the 9th of April, 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Union General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, effectively ending the war. Lincoln had achieved his goal of preserving the Union, but he would not live to see the full effects of Reconstruction. Just 5 days later, on the evening of the 14th of April, 1865, Lincoln attended a play at Ford's Theatre in Washington, D.C. During the performance, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer. Lincoln was shot in the back of the head and succumbed to his injuries the following morning, the 15th of April, 1865, at the Peterson House across the street from the theatre. Abraham Lincoln's legacy endures as one of the greatest presidents in American history. His leadership during the Civil War, his efforts to abolish slavery, and his dedication to democratic principles have left an indelible mark on the nation. His ability to unite a fractured country and his vision of equality continue to inspire generations. He is remembered not only as the man who saved the Union, but as a symbol of perseverance, integrity, and the enduring power of democracy. Thanks for listening to this special episode of the 5-Minute Biographies podcast. Don't forget, a new episode will be released every weekday during this series, so be sure to follow or subscribe to catch them all. And the regular 5-Minute Biographies series will be returning soon with Season 21. If you would like to support the show, you can buy us a coffee at 5minutebiographies.com/coffee. See you next time.